All right, we're excited about having our home opener in Folsom, and it's always an awesome place to play. And I was looking out my office before I came down here, and they're painting on the field the 50s out there for Ralphie, 50th running, 50th year. So that's exciting seeing that, and that's always a blast. And so it's going to be a fun Saturday here. We kick off at noon, so we need all the students to get up before noon, and that's hard for a student to do on a Saturday and be there because they make a big difference for our team when they're there. So I know they'll be there. Just get there before noon. Wake up at 11:45 and come on over. So, okay, I'll take any questions at this time. Thought I was going to get off easy.
No, not that easy.
Okay.
After you watched film of the offense's performance on Friday, I guess just talk about how you felt after the game and how you felt after watching the film, and what are the fixes that need to happen for your offense.
We were clicking on all cylinders. We were rolling for 17 and a half minutes, I guess, or 18 minutes. And then we had the great interception by their guy where we threw the ball out there. Steven made a great throw, and Devin got down, and he kind of had it, and then it kind of just bobbled out a little bit. It was he was trying to re-grab it, and their guy made a great play of pulling it out. And then after that kind of stymied us. But that would have been a first down, would have been basically on the other side of the 50, and I think momentum to go in and go up 24-0 because we were rolling. And then after that, we just kind of shot ourselves in the foot a little bit here and there. They also made some plays. They're a lot better on defense than they were last year. And we knew that going in. So we saw a lot of little things that could have been that ended up being big things for us. If we would have done a couple little things better, we definitely should have got in the end zone a couple more times. But I still think that Marty does an excellent job with their defense, and they've mixed it up a little bit better, and they were much improved on defense. But we still need to correct things. And, going in the first game, those type of things pop up a little bit more. And when another team's kind of had their feet wet for a little bit, that always helps them a little bit. So hopefully we'll be able to correct a few of those little things and be able to have a big week this week is what we're hoping.
Coach, a two-part question about your place kickers. First, with Stefano, just wondering, obviously a unique situation with his age and being from Australia. What did you kind of see in him that you thought he would still be a good fit for the program? And then secondly, obviously he was the #1 guy this past week. Is it his job to lose, or do you see it as a competition still on a weekly basis going forward?
James, I think James is a great fit. He comes from a program over there that sent 70 kids or 70 men, however you want to say it, to Division I, Division II, 1AA programs. They have multiple guys kicking in the NFL, punting, kicking, doing different things. So we felt really good about his talent, the coaching he was getting, and really liked who he was, like who he is as a person. And he's doing really well. He was nicked up a little bit before our game. That's why we were kind of deciding if he could play or not. And he was able to go. He didn't even kick all week until the day of the game. That's why I kept telling y'all I fibbed, but I couldn't. That was what going on. And and he was able to kick pretty well in the game. And it also, Davis Price kicked off really well. We were glad to see that. He had been doing that all camp, and we felt like if he could do that in the game. He did that last year, and then Davis hurt his knee a little bit, and it kind of set him back. And then he got mono. That's when I told him he couldn't go out with girls anymore. He just couldn't date anybody. And so that was good. And Chris Graham came in and kicked the extra point good. Chris Graham backs up every position we have. He's very valuable to us, and he'll have to kick sometime this year and come through just like he did last year. But, James is our kicker right now. If hopefully he stays healthy and everything goes like it should, because, as you can tell, he can really get the ball up quick and do some things good.
Coach Josh Kaiser got the start instead of Jeremy Irwin.
Yep.
Speaking to Clayton Adams yesterday, it seemed like there was a sense that this offensive line can do much better than what you guys saw on Friday. Just your evaluation of how you thought they played, specifically Josh.
I definitely thought Josh played definitely well enough for us to win, which he did. I thought that our offensive line, they had a couple stunts that we kind of miscommunicated on. They got us on, and then they beat us a couple of times. Their defensive line is good and has played a lot of football. We definitely have to keep getting better. We'll get better from that game to this game. on that side. But I thought overall they gave us enough opportunities to make enough plays to win the football game. But they, of course, as a coach, you always see things they got to keep improving on. But going back to Josh, I thought Josh, in his first start, definitely played well enough for us to win the football game. He had a winning grade, and I was excited about seeing that and how he competed. I told him after the game how proud I was of him to go out there and compete like he did in his first start, and I thought he did a good job.
Mike, just a follow-up on James Stefano.
Yep.
So with one of the tidbits in his bio, the second oldest player in the FBS,
Right.
active player, 30 years old. Do you have any 30-year-olds on your roster throughout the year very often? I mean,
Well, when I coached for the Cowboys and the Jets, yeah, but not in college. No, I haven't had any 30-year-olds in college before. I've had 26, 25 in that area before. Guys that have gone on mission, that type of thing, or been in the service and came back. But no, I'm not 130.
You guys, kickers, they can kick forever, it seems like. So for you guys, age probably isn't a big issue.
No, he needs to keep kicking. I guess the Raiders are having that problem right now with their guy. It seems like he's been kicking forever. I think I was 10 years old when he started kicking for the Raiders, and they had Blanda before that, right? And he kicked forever. Yeah. So they can kick forever and do that as long as they stay flexible and keep themselves. And he's in great shape. He played soccer for a long time, professional soccer, so he's in really good shape.
Coach, yesterday after practice you mentioned the strength that Texas State has at the linebacker position.
Yes.
So in regards to Phil versus the Bobcats front seven on defense, what are some key matchups that you've gathered just from watching film over the last couple of days?
Yeah, I'll go over there. Brian London, number 9, he's a big athletic linebacker for them. And then Frank Griffin's another one, and then Gabriel. They're big. They're all over 230, right in that area. They're big and athletic. They make a lot of plays for their defense. And last year they made plays. In this first game they made a lot of plays. They held, I think, their opponent to, Houston back to 59 yards rushing. We can't be held to 59 yards rushing and expect to win the game. So I think they're very stout in the linebacking area. So we're going to have to get to the second level. Our offensive line have done a good job of getting to the second level. If they can get to the second level, at least get a piece of the guy. When the guy comes off, he's off balance, and Phillip and Michael and those guys can make them miss when that happens and run through an arm tackle. So that's what we got to be able to do.
This past weekend in college football, we saw a couple
Yeah.
underdogs knock off heavily favored teams. You've been in this business a long time. You've played and coached. I guess what's the recipe on both sides for an underdog and for a favorite to take care of business in a game like this? Because it is an interesting dynamic.
Yeah. I don't know if UCLA is typically an underdog in that game. To me, I think they're very extremely talented and very good. The thing that you have to do is once you get up, you got to kind of put a team away, and that's something we didn't do last week. We had our chances to and let them kept hanging around, and that goes credit to them. CSU kept fighting, and sometimes you got to outwill the opponent, and if their will breaks, then you blow them away. We didn't get that done last week. CSU kept fighting, and we kept letting them stay in the game, and they made plays to do that. So this week, if we get up, we got to be able to put them away, and that's hard to do. As you saw in the UCLA game, I think Texas A&M probably thought it was over, and UCLA just kept believing and kept fighting and kept believing and kept fighting. To me, one of the great plays in that game, if you go back to it, was the blocked field goal. It's 44-31. They're lining up to kick a field goal. I believe that's that correct score. Good when I saw it, something like that. And they blocked that field goal that they had a chance. They don't block that field goal. They make that field goal. UCLA probably doesn't win it. So I thought that was a big play in the game, and the energy they had and the way they kept playing. You just got to – it showed a lot on – I was extremely happy for Jim Moore and UCLA and what they did and for the Pac-12. I thought that was good. And then my Jackets got beat last night late. I was very disappointed. I was working late on this, and then somebody said, hey, they're going to overtime. I said, they're what? And because they were up 28-14 at one time, somebody told me. So I watched the last couple of overtimes while I was still working. And I always like to watch those situations. Like even in the UCLA game, I'm giving you a long answer. When I found out what the score was, there was like 6 minutes to go. We took the offensive staff and sat down and took out our time management cards and said, okay, how are we going to manage this game? and we talked through the game as we're watching it. How would we manage if we were A&M? How would we manage if we were UCLA? We took it as a teaching experience for us, and we learned a couple things in it. And then in overtime, I was looking at what they were kind of doing there, and so it was a heartbreaking loss for Tech. Good win for Tennessee, though.
Will you talk to your team about like UNLV losing to Howard or
Yep.
Liberty beating Baylor?
Yep.
Or was that a thing?
No, we will definitely. They know all that, but we'll definitely mention different things about that for sure. Hopefully they know that. Hopefully we've got enough culture of attitude. I thought the practice was excellent today. I didn't have to get on anybody or try to get them going. They were ready to roll. So that's always a telltale sign to me. And they know you only get so many times to play too. That's so true. That's what I always preach. You're blessed to be able to have the opportunity to play, and you never know when your last play is going to be for a while. And our game is such a physical game, so you better go give all you got every time you have a chance.
Coach, I think I saw that Tim Lanack graded out high on Friday. I think I saw that.
Did you get that from his mom, his grade?
It was his dad.
Oh, his dad.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good.
Twitter.
All right, quit it. Yeah, okay.
Just wondering your impressions of him, at least from the outside. I could be way off. He seems like a quiet kid that just kind of handles his business. And just wondering what your impressions are of and how he's progressed in his, I think, third year now with the program.
Yeah, Timmy's very talented, works extremely hard, great work ethic, just a solid young man. And you're right, he kind of keeps quiet. He has a great personality, but he does kind of keep quiet, does his own business, and plays really well. And, last year making freshman All-American, I kept telling him, you're not going to be a one-hit wonder, right? And so he just kept working and working and working. And he's doing an excellent job for us at guard. And I think he's an excellent player. I think as he keeps going, I think he'll be one of the top linemen in the conference as he keeps growing up.
Mike, you mentioned it in your opening, but 50 years of Ralphie
Yeah.
at this university. Your time as head coach, what's your most memorable Ralphie moment? Did you have any good interactions with her
Some
over
of the
the
people
years?
have heard this before. Yeah, my first time I ran on Folsom Field, Ralphie almost ran over me. So we're playing Central Arkansas here, and so we used to come out, where we came out of the old locker room, they had like a black plastic thing that we go under. And so we're underneath there, and you can't see anything. You can't see the clock. So there's a person standing there by Ralphie going 5, 4, 3, 2, go. So Parker Orms and I are in front of him with the cat, and we start going out. And we get out there, and the gate's open for Ralphie, but Ralphie won't move. So I'm literally looking Ralphie eye to eye, and I'm thinking all this in 1 second. I'm going to get run over. I'm dead. This is the last time. It's over. And so luckily, they've trained Ralphie not to run behind people. So she wouldn't go. So I looked at Parker. Parker and I looked at it, and all this is happening in like a split second, okay? Here comes the team behind me, but they're just running. They don't see us. I said, Parker, run. We're going to get trampled. And we ran, and then we got out on the sidelines. They shut the gate back. Ralphie didn't run, so we're out there. First time in Folsom. The whole crowd goes, boo. I'm like, oh, this is great. And sure enough, it rattled our team. We went out on the field, didn't have 11 players, jumped off sides on the first snap. We're 3 and out right there. We kind of stopped them. We kind of regained composure and won the game. And she ran out at halftime. So Dave Platty told me after the game, I said, Dave, has that ever happened before? One other time. I said, well, when was that? Well, it was when CU beat Nebraska 62-36. I said, well, we ought to do that every game. So that's my Ralphie experience. But all the rest of them have been awesome, been phenomenal.
You recruited him here, so you obviously saw the potential in Jacob Collier. But has he at all surprised you just how quickly he's developed into one of your best pass rushers?
We really thought on high school film that he could really rush the passer. He had that knack and that quick twitch, and he could spin and get underneath and bend. He just had a knack for rushing the passer, and that's what we saw. And he has shown that all camp, and he showed that in the game the other night. He had a sack. He had another one. He came completely free beat the guy and fell down. And then he had another one on the first sprint out of the game. He had the guy and and the guy just, remember how he was just throwing it away? So he could have had 3 sacks in his first game. He had 1, and he harassed the quarterback a lot. I know he'll be a really good pass rusher for the next 4 years. And I'm excited about but we've seen that in him. And, you watch it on high school film and you're hoping it. but they played in such a tough league at St. John Bosco. He played against a lot of good offensive tackles, and coming here, he's done the same thing. So hopefully he'll be able to keep doing that the rest of this year.
Coach, can you talk about Drew Lewis's game?
Wow, yeah. Drew played really well. We knew Drew was really talented. Drew played a little bit at linebacker last year, but Kenneth and Rick and Addison were the guys that did the main playing in that spot. And then Drew played on all our special teams and made a lot of plays on our special teams for us. And then spring and this fall camp, he's done really well. He has a great knack of, we blitzed him a lot up the middle. In our defense, we can do that. We did that quite a bit with Addison, if y'all remember correctly, and how he would send him. He reminds me of a lot of that. And so he was able to do that. And he did a great job of playing his coverage correctly. He did good on the punt team. I thought he played really, really well. And I was anxious to see how he played. I thought he would play good, but with the way he ended up playing when the lights came on and the physicalness of CSU's line and offensive line and their running backs, I thought he played really well.
Like yesterday, at the end of you talking to us, Javier jumps in there and asks a question. I want to ask you about him, just what he's brought to your team, not only physically and what he brings to your offensive line, but his personality.
Javi played really well in the game the other night, and he just got to keep pushing and keep getting better and better and better. He does a great job in the middle at nose tackle for us. But his personality is incredible. He's so quick-witted, and he's brought a great joy. Every time I see him, I'm gonna start laughing. He's brought a great joy to our team, and his expertise and how hard he plays. And I'm excited about this year and next year with him, and his. But he's one of those guys, you kind of walk in a room and there's always that guy that you can talk to, and he lights the room up, and he always has that big smile on. That's Javi.
Any other questions for Coach?
And he won't be playing Wildcat quarterback, I don't think. So. Yeah.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.